Oh boy, everybody, I just made a YouTube 3x3, and by just, I mean in the 1 hour and 30 minutes I spent in a call with no thank you, in which we subsequently started reviewing each other's videos at complete random. So this YouTube 3x3 is kind of like the ultimate definition of my taste. Every single person on here perfectly represents what it is that I want from YouTube. And the rankings are a little bit like I feel like the rankings could be slightly changed around a little bit given the context or how I'm feeling. But in general, these top 9 are everything I want from YouTube. At number 1, we have the man himself, Digibro, a guy who I've talked a lot about on my channel. I feel like most people who watch my channel probably don't even know who this guy is. But if you like my videos a lot, his vlog channel, Digibro After Dark specifically, is my favorite channel on YouTube. Only because his videos have been so important to me in my development as a person. Like, this type of content was never really something that I knew about or was exposed to. And so because I had such a specific experience with his videos, that's why he's number 1, even though I don't really like his new videos as much. But there's certain videos that he made that are just so distinct and emotional that I've never really been able to forget. Like, he had an entire arc in his career where he was just really depressed and he just kept making all these videos every day. And when you're there watching this happen, watching him make like 5 videos a day over and over and over again because he's just so depressed that he has nothing to do, it's honestly kind of fascinating. Like, it felt like I was partaking in a one-time experience, something that I would only see once, that to be there when the videos were being released made them all the more special. Like this Alone in the Void video, it's just a somber video of him walking through his house as all of his family and friends have left the home, and now it's just him alone here. It's just him experiencing this ginormous home. You know, it's a king in his castle, but the castle is completely empty, you know? And something about this video specifically, I feel like embodies a lot of the appeal of Digibro's content for me. A lot of the reason why I watched it was because it feels exactly like an archive of a human being. Like, every single one of these videos was made as a result of him spending all of his time in his room, and because he was spending all of his time in his room, he had the ability to just make all of this content. Like, look at this. You've got like 5 videos in a row of just him vlogging about all this anime shit, and most of them are like over 20 minutes, sometimes an hour, and there's something really special about that like, you see the guy's room, you see who he is, he's telling you every single facet of his being, that you're able to understand this guy just because he said so much about himself on there, that there's so much information that you can't not understand him. And because he's such an interesting guy with an interesting voice, and like, he has this ginormous room where, you know, you really get a sense of who he is, it's fun. I like all the different angles that he would shoot his videos from. I like the way he would just randomly experiment. Like this video here, this is just a random video of him talking about all these light novels, but he frames it in a creative way, just putting all of these light novels out. And when I watched this video, I didn't give a fuck about light novels. I didn't even know what light novels were. But the fact that he was talking about it and it had that catchy thumbnail just made it fun. And then you got videos like this Insomnia Analysis, where it's just like a 1 hour video of just him, you know, sitting around drinking and talking about random concepts. Like, this type of thing is stuff that you don't normally get on YouTube. And when I found this channel in 2016, it was incredibly influential for just my taste in media in general and how I viewed the world, because I had never seen a guy just completely deep dive into his own psyche like that. And so because of that, Digibro After Dark is my favorite channel. The next guy I got on here is Endless Jess. Endless Jess did a very similar thing for quite some time, although I think a lot of his best videos are deleted at this point. Endless Jess would release content all the time. He used to have a video out like every day. He would just make these random vlogs of him, you know, laying on his floor and reading comics and stuff and funny voices. And some of those videos are still up. Like, he still has some of the old vlogs up, but most of them are gone. You know, most of them is stuff like this, you know, reviews and stuff. And his reviews are good. He's a really good writer. Probably, like, the best writer on YouTube in terms of just knowing how to write. And then you got like videos like the garbage video and stuff, which is, you know, a fun vlog. But like most of the stuff that he made that I came to his channel for is just gone at this point. Like, it just doesn't exist. Like his My Little Pony videos, which aren't really My Little Pony videos, they're just kind of like parodies of reviews. Those videos are still up, you know, very creative stuff, very funny. The Horseshoe Saga is probably, like, one of my favorite pieces of art on the internet because how do I even explain the Horseshoe Saga? Like, there's the skits and all the effort he put into the editing, the way he would just make them genuinely funny and, like, have random touches in the video that no one else would have had. I think his videos are very fun because of that. Then, you know, he's got, like, you know, the shit posts on here, and then, like, the big Horseshoe finale that was, like, the defining moment in his career, where he makes a 1 hour and 46 minute video about My Little Pony, about the My Little Pony community. It's fucking awesome, dude. He has all these characters, all these sets that he does, and, like, there's shit like this, like, who does this? Who puts in this much effort to make, like, a weird vlog? Oh, he's got all this wrestling stuff in here. It's so cool. Yeah, that's why Endless Jess is the best, is because he makes the most unique content. But, like, it's not just that it's funny, and that it's unique and well done. There's, like, a professional element to Endless Jess's videos that I feel like most people just don't have. Like, his videos are taking influence from TV and wrestling and stand-up comedy and stuff, and so you can feel the sense that that influence is in there, and you can see it being made throughout all of his work. Now, most of his newer videos are just like game reviews and stuff. They're okay. Like, he is a really good writer, but they don't have the same sense of comedic timing or lore or intrigue that these videos did, you know? I always like this video where he's sitting out here reading this will or whatever to this character, and then Colt Corona's just sitting here. He's quite literally reading the business plan to the other characters in the story, and it's fucking great. Like, little things like this, little touches like this to Endless Jess's videos are what makes them so much fun. Next up here we have No Thank You, a guy who's a good friend of mine and who you've probably heard me talk about on this channel no shortage of times. If you watch my video on why I think he's the future of YouTube and stuff, you probably know what it is that I like about this guy, but his videos are just so creative. Like, you get videos like this, "To live your unlife is despite birth itself." It's literally just like him taking multiple shots of a philosophical argument between these two stuffed animals, and he's using it to kind of critique this idea that people against him have. Like, little things like that. Like, he makes this giant video called The Odyssey, which has all of this, like, footage and just random things that he's filmed, but they have a specific intent behind them. You know, he's got videos like this Cyberpunk is Dead, you know, where he's talking about more of a specific topic. There's just something so incredibly emotional that I find in his videos, because it isn't just about how much he experiments, how much experimentation there is overtly. It's also about being able to kind of parasocially partake in the existence of this guy, because he is uploading almost every day, or when he doesn't upload each day, he uploads like a 1 hour video that's basically the entire compilation of his week, that you can't help but feel enticed by it because you're getting the sense of who this extremely interesting person is. You're hearing hours and hours of them talk, and each time you're kind of understanding them better. And as a new video comes out, it also feels like you're peering into their existence. You're seeing what their existence is. And it just so happens that that existence is an incredibly interesting thing. You look at his room, for example, you know, there's like papers hanging on the walls everywhere. It's just random papers. There's like wires and stuff hanging from the ceiling. There's stuff everywhere. It's just strange, you know? Why would someone like this exist? You know, that's the question that you have to have on your mind, because the person themselves is just so strange. And so the act of watching their videos is kind of like trying to figure out why it is that that's the case, trying to understand who someone this strange even could be. I really love how he shoots everything on 4:3 aspect ratio. Like, I feel like the aesthetic of his channel is just something that I can strongly identify with. Not just the content, not just the experimentation, the aesthetic, the way he chooses to frame things, to shoot things, to edit things, is all something that I can strongly relate to from my heart. I don't have enough caffeine in me to make this go faster, so I have to start drinking from this coffee more and more as I talk about these channels. Sabu fucking Jard. This guy, he has been deleted off of YouTube so many times that the fact that I'm shouting him out here actually makes me a little bit scared for whether or not he'll get deleted after this video. But Sabu Jard has been one of my favorite channels ever since I found his content in mid 2018, around that point. I got really into him because of the Neat podcast, and just like No Thank You, this is one of those cases where it's just a really interesting guy explaining his life. But at the same time, Sabu Jard is really fucking funny. Like, you don't know what is the joke or what isn't at certain points, because he blends the irony in with his existence, with what he's saying in his content so heavily that, like, you'll be listening to him talk on the Neat podcast, which is probably my favorite in, like, the top 3 podcasts ever. On the Neat podcast, he'll be talking about how depressed he is, how his family are scum, and they're making him be responsible, and he hates them, and all this other stuff. And there's obviously an ironic tinge to what he's saying. It's obviously, part of it is a joke, but then it's also extremely genuine at the same time, that he is this depressed, and he is just a neat boy out here struggling, you know? And the way he frames things, all the different characters that he comes up with, the fact that, like, he always brings up Adam Lanza and Elliot Rodger and stuff just in, like, totally random context, that he has, like, the Neat Bible and the concept of tweens and, you know, nuns and all this other stuff. Like, he just has random-ass characters that show up in the conversations in his videos, where, like, he's somehow created his own world, it feels like. Like, everything that he talks about is framed within these previous concepts that we've heard about within his videos. So if you've watched all of his videos, you know who Adam Lanza is, you know what a neat tween Peter Pan boy is, you know about baby boomer scum, and all this other stuff. And so if you watch his videos, you're woke on that. But if you just show up, like, you're not going to know about the significance of 9/11. You're not going to know about any of these things. Like, you have to watch through to be able to understand it. And then, eventually, once you get so deep into his content, it feels like you're just viewing somebody from an entirely different world. It feels like Sabu Jard is an alien visiting the planet. Like, the way that he talks and the things that he says are just so fundamentally different than how the majority of human beings, or even 4chaners or 8chaners, think, that he really has created his own aesthetic. He's created his own paradigm and his own world, to put it in more simple terms. Like, it's really fucking amazing to me how he can make hours and hours long videos of just him rambling on and on and on, and there's always a rhythm to it. It's not boring. It's not like he's just not saying anything for, you know, big gaps in between. No, he's like a Markov chain. It's always rolling and progressing, and the words keep on building on top of each other. And it's amazing to me that he's able to do that. And like his comedy, his off-the-cuff comedy is fucking hilarious. Like, he's able to make me laugh so many times in contexts that I would normally see as completely depressing. You know, videos that would be, you know, to most people very depressing and sad and about subjects that you think you wouldn't be able to joke about, but he's able to make them hilarious while also being incredibly genuine about his own life and the way he feels. So, Zabujard has to be number 4 on this list. He's a fucking legend, and it makes me really sad that YouTube has deleted so many of his channels over the years, because like he is quite literally a gift on this platform. Like, the fact that his content exists has helped me through a lot of really rough times, and he's a great channel. He does great work, and I hope he continues making more of his old vlogs. Like, I really liked the vlogs that he did about like 9/11 and about you know, about not having killed himself yet and stuff, and where he talks about like being jealous of people who are happy, and those videos, like a lot of them aren't up anymore. That's the thing, is that like Coming Out as a Tween was the first video of his that I saw, and I thought it was really funny. But like a lot of his other videos where he talks about being a NEET and stuff, they just aren't up here. Like, there's like the New Zealand mosque shooting video, and then there's like Jews aren't white and stuff. Columbine harp duet. Like, these are the types of videos that he's re-uploaded so far. I really wish he would post. Like, there's the inward whisperer things. I really wish he would post his old vlogs about being a NEET. Because those are some of the best videos on YouTube. They were some of my favorites. Like, some of them are up here. He obviously posted the NEET podcast, but he's made thousands and thousands of videos. That's the thing, is that it's difficult to re-upload so many of them when there's just so much content. Wish I had some Xanax right now. I have no joy. Mom thinks I'm psychotic. Like, these are classic Zabujard videos that are up here. Combine Xanax with alcohol for eternity. How I would have started 9/11. How I would have stopped 9/11. Like, these are all great videos. And I could listen to this man for hours. He has basically all of my respect, unironically. Like, as a creator, I think if he had all of his videos up, his videos are like 10 times better than mine. Just the NEET podcast alone, I think it's better than the majority of my content. Zabujard, he is a legend. He is a breathing legend. Next guy we got on here is a tween boy named First Last. Now, you may know this guy because he made this video called The Black Pill, which got like 100,000 views, like more than 100,000 views. And people got really into his content because of that. He had a couple other ones, like where he talked about the fembots, and there's a few other ones on here that gotten pretty big, but otherwise he's mostly known because of this video. This Take the Black Pill video was the first video on here that got really big, and oh wow, this has almost like 500,000 views. What the fuck? But this guy's kind of famous because 4chan turned him into a school shooter. Is that he almost got arrested because 4chan made everyone believe he was a school shooter. A lot of people tried to dox him and stuff, and he felt genuinely unsafe for a while because of that. But he's got like the wage fiend dilemma and stuff on here, you know, talking about wages, and you know, he was like the original 4chan uploader guy, or one of them, one of these guys who gets famous on 4chan and then does vlogs about it. And so I really love his videos, not just for that origin, but because he is an incredibly interesting character. Like he talks about being a wage cock, and he goes through his daily life and just talks about things. You know, he talks about being an incel, kind of the dynamic of the black pill. he has a really interesting voice. Like I love just the way he speaks. I love all of the things he talks about. I think they're incredibly comfy videos. Most people out there are not going to have the perspective of this guy. Like, one of my favorite videos that he made was, kind of before he got kicked off of YouTube, was Ask Eggy why, Eggy liked the mental hospital. And he goes through this video talking about how calm it was, how, it wasn't a big deal there, it felt nice, and it was just chill. And he didn't have to worry about going to school or any of this other bullshit. It just felt like he had a routine where he could just chill out. And I thought that was one of the most fascinating things I've seen, because my own mental hospital experiences have been pretty bad. Not the second one, but the first one was terrible. And most people I know generally have not had that perspective. And so it's things like that that feel so interesting when you see them. And when you hear someone with such a comfy voice talking about these things, it's really cool. So I love his videos because of that. He's got like the Black Pill 3, The World is Against You. This is another one of my favorite videos. Like, he just goes into all this detail about the FBI and shit, and it's great. He still makes content on his live stream channel, Egg White, which I highly recommend you check out. His videos on there are quite fun. But this dude is a legend. He is an absolute legend. I wish he still made vlogs like this, because they're just filled with genuinity. Like, that's the thing, is that the through line that I feel like connects all of my taste on this list is that there's a lot of genuinity in it. Just people talking at the camera who are weird and have something to say and have the truth to tell. And Eggy is one of those people, and so if you haven't seen his videos, I strongly recommend it. Next guy we have on here is Hiding in My Room. This is a guy who I found in 2017, mid-2017, around that point. A lot of his videos have been deleted. In fact, I think a lot of his best videos have been deleted. So if you Google Hiding in My Room archive, you're going to find an Internet Archive link, or at least a Reddit post to a separate one. There's 2 main Internet Archives that have a lot of his videos in them. And I recommend you go there and try to find the good stuff. His videos he made while he was in Taiwan are really good. He deleted them because he thought they were embarrassing. Pretentious coffee sip right there. And his videos are great otherwise. Like, a lot of his newer videos feel kind of like filler. Like, he's getting back with his wife or some dumb shit like that. A lot of them nowadays aren't super good. He's talking about James Charles and just weird stuff like that. But these old videos, like Why I Have No Friends, this one, this wasn't the first one I saw, but it got recommended to me a lot back in the day. Let's see. Oh, Why I Hate Living in Japan. This is the first one that I saw. It's really funny because literally, like, the first thing he says, let me see if I can get this here.
I've lived in Japan for more than 2 years in total, and I wanted to make a video talking about reasons why I dislike living in Japan. Now, I don't hate living in Japan.
Now, I don't hate living in Japan. And for some reason, that part of the video always gets me going, is that, like, the title, Why I Hate Living in Japan, first 10 seconds. Now, I don't hate living in Japan. I don't know, I think his videos are very comfy. They feel very genuine. Like videos, there's a video where he literally collapses in a Japanese supermarket, and he just so happens to have footage of it. Like, when I talk about comfy and raw and getting the sense of someone else's life, I'm oftentimes talking about stuff like this, where he's describing, you know...
But yesterday I had to, because I felt like I was going to be sick.
He's describing how he was feeling kind of sick, what he was doing when he was socially anxious, and then he just has footage, just literally has footage of him taking the fall here. And, like, that's such a strange thing to have on recording, and yet it feels so earnest, like I am experiencing this thing alongside him. Like, I don't have to go outside to see people collapse from social anxiety. Not like that's something you would see every day anyway. but I can just see it right here. This weird, interesting guy, thousands of miles away, is going to tell me more about himself, and I'm going to be able to understand the world a little bit better through understanding this guy. And, really weird guy. I like how he takes footage of the places that he goes, so you can see him kind of being weird and socially anxious, kind of uncharismatic in Kyoto, you know, just kind of going around, taking footage of things. His videos are really fun. I love his live streams where he do these like hours long live streams. I remember when he left his wife, he did a 4-hour stream. I watched the entire thing at the time because I was just so fascinated in being updated on the lore. You know, you get videos like this, and that's another thing, is that his life feels like it's in a constant state of progression, because back when he was with his wife, now this was obviously post 2017, so I was in full swing watching his videos at this point, and he's just talking into the camera. And you see all of this footage of him going out into the street, going to the hotel at night in Japan. And obviously I don't live in Japan. I think it's comfy as fuck to watch something like this. And I get the sense of what his motivations are. I can see him get angry. You can watch him get angry about these things and kind of lose his bearings as he's talking. You get the real sense that he's not scripting this. He's just telling the truth right there. And when you see the footage of the places he's walking about in the cold, you really get the sense that this is real. And that's what I love about it, is that these are not the guys you would see on TV. TV would not talk about someone like this. They would have to talk about it themselves. This would not be something that airs. That's why I love YouTube, is because you can get shit like this. I don't want YouTube to just be TV 2.0, where everyone is Jake Paul and it's always every day, bro. I want it to be people just talking into their camera and saying what it is that's weird about them and what's true. I want to be uncomfortable when I watch your videos. I want to feel like I'm peering into the anger and the sadness of this human being, that I'm seeing it happen right before my eyes. It's not a scripted setting, it's just happening. That's what I really love about him. His life is in constant progression. There's always things happening. And even when things aren't happening, just hearing his commentary on boredom and depression in his room is really nice. Next guy I have on here is Mr. Daggers. I'm really fascinated by the fact that this dude is able to make like 45-minute and 1-hour videos just all the time. Like, if you go through his channel, around the time that he started, you know, he's got kind of like short shitpost things going on here. But as it goes on, it feels like the videos just get longer and longer. He blew up on Chans, on image boards, because of his various incel videos. He's made large commentaries about Volcel, Incel, Truecel, and all these different things. Bitter Virgins, Wine on a Hill, you know, stuff like that is, you know, the things that really got him popular. But the first video of his that I watched was a video called Introversion. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Where it's just an unbroken 46-minute rant of him talking about how he really does not like people. He doesn't have social anxiety or anything like that. He's not an autist. He just hates human beings. He has severe problems with humanity on a philosophical and intellectual level. And he spends 46 minutes just calmly railing against all of them. And the way in which he does it, the you know, the types of jokes that he makes, the references he would make, are very different than I think most people would. That's what I'm talking about with different perspectives, is that, like, you know, Hiding in My Room is obviously going to bring up something different than this guy. This guy is going to make different conclusions, different references. He's going to have different things to say. And I think that perspective is valuable. It's interesting to see so many different types of people making videos like this. Like, I may not agree with everything this guy says, but the fact that he's saying it in a charismatic way, in an unbroken rant for 45, 46 minutes, in an interesting room that is different than most people's rooms would ever be. Like, this dude finds weed and LSD and shit just in his house. Just in there. like, how cool is that? How cool is that that you can just look at this broken down place that the dude is living in, that like he's literally stabbed by the by the bed that he was laying in, because the place was so broken down. And I remember with this vlog specifically, this one was really comfy because it's kind of like Alone in the Void in the sense that he's just going through his entire broken down room. And he's just reminiscing on all of the stuff that happened there before he moves out. And it feels extremely raw, extremely genuine. And I love his videos because of that. Mr. Daggers has a strong spot on this list. Great fucking videos. Awesome, awesome channel. Imp Lemon. This guy, my favorite video of Imp Lemon's is, let me see if I can find it here. Imp Lemon's Summer Bummer, Part 1, is this 1 hour and 12-minute video of just Imp Lemon sitting around his house, constantly watching NASCAR, and complaining about random things. He watches basketball as well. But, like, he just points the camera out at the window and is just complaining about random things that happen in his life, that are happening around that time. You know, you can see him editing videos and stuff, talking about memes, like he normally would on his channel, either talking about memes or YouTube. But, like, very rarely on his channel, because his videos are so highly edited, do you just see the unbroken, raw experience. By the way, whenever you see the clock in my videos all the time, I got that idea from him, from this video, because I didn't know about the time.is website, so now I just always have that on. But, like, this video, I feel like, besides the big behind the meme video he did in the YouTube, like, fuck YouTube video, that's both really well edited and written, this is like his magnum opus in my opinion, because it is just a super, super raw, peering into the existence of this guy. Like, you can see the genuinity in his voice. You can see what he's doing. And, I really love this video because of that. It's the points I'm making about this video is very similar to all of the other ones. It's just that, like, the dude watches basketball and NASCAR all the time. Like, what kind of guy would watch those two things constantly and also be a guy who reviews memes and talks about YouTube on the internet? Probably my second favorite video he did was this behind the meme video, and then YouTube has been on a downward spiral. This one's probably my second favorite video of his, because it's extremely well edited, very, very funny. All of the points in it I completely agree with. It's very dense, very well written, and he's able to make, like, every single shot of the video mean something. All of the images, all of the ways in which he edits it mean something for the video, and it's great. He did a really good job on the amount of density and ideas that were in it. The fact that he made it so charismatic that I could watch the 49 minutes of the video, constantly laugh, and feel like I learned something by the end of it, was really special. His behind the meme video as well, I would consider like his third best. Talks really heavily about like normies fucking over meme culture. And it's a great video. I feel basically the same way about it as I do that other one. Then finally, we have the original, the OG, Hiki-chan, otherwise known as Noriko. She was she was the original hikikomori vlogger, which just so happened to be a 14, 15-year-old girl. But these videos, like when I talk about authenticity, and I talk about the raw genuinity, the 4x3 YouTube video aesthetic, like, these are just webcam recordings of her talking about mental illness, and her talking about medication, being a hikikomori, having schizophrenia, and so on. And the fact that, like, at this time on the internet, 2010, 2011, someone was doing this, someone was making really authentic videos about these types of subjects in the way that she did was completely ahead of its time. Most people on YouTube at this time were not making content like this. These people were not making content like this. And so I fucking love her videos, not just because she's the OG, but a lot of them are really interesting. Like her video where she talks about going to the mental hospital, you can very easily get the sense that there's something wrong. There's something wrong with this person. I don't know. They're just really nice to watch. I feel like it looks like some of these videos have been deleted. Mental illness takes its toll. I feel like there were more videos on this channel. Maybe I'm just remembering wrong, but I remember there being more. Perhaps they're re-uploaded somewhere if they got deleted, but I remember there being more here. That's the thing. That I know I've watched more Noriko videos than this. But regardless, you get videos like Emotionless Zombie and Mental Illness Takes Its Toll, where she just talks about living this way, who she is, and you do get the sense that there is something wrong with this person. It's not a troll,
Noriko, I'm here to talk to you about this past week.
Look at her bed.
But I scratched my hand. Can you see?
Like, her bed does not look like a bed a human being would sleep in. I always love trying to parse what's in the background. You've got, like, the little frog guy that's famous in anime. It's weird stuff, dude. Like, this is I found out about this channel because it was posted on 8chan for so long. It's been an 8chan meme forever. I just really wish there was more content that she made. That's the thing. Is that, the things that she would say, the person she was at this time is so fascinating. There's really not anyone else like this. Like, I can make hikikomori videos all day, but I'm never going to be Noriko, and I don't think anyone should be Noriko. No one should seek to emulate this. The point I'm making here is that it's the most unique thing in existence, Besides probably Sabu. And they both happen to be neats. So, I don't know. I find it really fascinating. Did she block her comments? Let me see here. So there were blocked comments on that video. And then on this one, okay, there are no comments on this one. I'm just trying to get a sense of what's going on here, because I remember the Risperdal video didn't originally have blocked comments. It could have been YouTube. YouTube could have deleted some of these. That's what I'm thinking, is that maybe YouTube deleted some of her videos. Jesus Christ, I hope somebody archived them. But, yeah, that's Zombie Beats 2000, the last favorite YouTuber I have. This video is probably going to come out quite long. Basically, TLDR, I really like people who talk into cameras for long amounts of times, who are weird people. If you've watched my videos for long enough, and you've seen what I'm here making, should be kind of obvious at this point, given the fact that I've persisted at doing this type of video for so long. But if you really wanted to know what those influences are, or rather why it is that I persist, there you go. YouTube is pretty cool. I like it. If you're out there with an idea, if you're out there as a person who's similar to these guys, please, I implore you, make videos and send them to me. I don't even care if you're particularly good at talking. I just want to hear more people like this, because it's my favorite content on the internet.